What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers. Of course, we're gonna keep posting every day, but today's video we're gonna be talking about two of the best two of the best six men in the year, however you want to say it. And I ain't do a versus video in a video. I ain't do a versus video in a minute, so let's just get into it. Obviously, you see the thumbnail and the title. We're gonna be talking about Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford, but let's just get into it. And they were both buckets, but in Jamal Crawford's first season with the Chicago Bulls, he averaged 4.5 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. You're gonna see that both of them came out like kind of short. You didn't see like what was gonna, like, obviously the future that was to come, basically. In his second season, he averaged 9.5 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. You see the major improvement from his first season. In the 2002-2003 season, he averaged 10.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. And in the 2003-2004 season, when he started, he averaged 17.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And it's crazy. Jamal Crawford's best known for him coming off the bench, but he had his best season starting, so he was really a starter in the six-man's body. Like, that's what both of these guys really were. But when I used to play 2K, I used to start Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams because they wasn't coming off the bench for me, bro. What? They were higher overall than the starting shooting guard. Shit made no sense. But then he went to the Knicks. In the 2004-2005 season, he had some of his best highlights with the Knicks. He averaged 17.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He started that season. In the next season, the 2005-2006 season, I'm pretty sure he came off the bench because he averaged 32 minutes, the less amount of minutes than the last previous season. He averaged 32 minutes, but he averaged 14.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Jamal Crawford was durable throughout his career, I guess, and started until this injury the next season. In the 2006-2007 season, he only played 59 games. He averaged 17.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And in the 2007-2008 season, he averaged 20.5 points per game, his best season as a pro, 2.5 rebounds and 5 assists. He played 39 minutes, so he was still starting at the time. And in the 2008-2009 season, his last season with the Knicks, he got traded to Golden State. Looks like he averaged 19.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And with the Golden State Warriors, he averaged 19.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And then he went to Atlanta for 2 seasons where he was still, then this is when he started to come off the bench. I guess he was playing with Joe Johnson. He averaged 18 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. In the 2010-2011 season, Jamal averaged 14 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. So we see that the stats are starting to go down because he's no longer starting. And he was putting in work off the bench. Trust, like, this is Jamal Crawford we're talking about. We knew he was going to be productive whatever he did, and we see that the scoring was never an option for either of these guys, but especially Jamal, because we all know Jamal Crawford's crossover is still legendary to this day. And you got 7'5" Wemby learning that shit. If Wemby learns the Jamal Crawford crossover, shit, man. But he went to Portland the next season. After Atlanta, he averaged 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists in the 2011-2012 season. And then in 2012-2013, where I would remember Jamal Crawford the most, when he went to the Clippers. He was on that Lob City team with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, JJ Redick. He was playing behind JJ Redick. I remember I used to put JJ Redick on the bench and put Jamal Crawford in. But in that season, Jamal averaged 16.5 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. In the 2013-14 season, Jamal averaged 18.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. With him coming off the bench, it became something special because you would have to have a game plan for Jamal Crawford every time he came in the game. Like, you can't just, it's not like just any other bench player where you sub in to take minutes from the starter. Jamal Crawford was a for sure starter in the NBA, and he chose to come off the bench. But that 2013-14 season would be Jamal Crawford's best season coming off the bench, and he played his highest minutes coming off the bench too since his Atlanta days in the 2009-2010 season, when I said he averaged 18, and in that season he averaged 18 and a half. And the next season, the 2014-15 season, he averaged 16 points, 2 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Like I said on the Blake Griffin video, it sucks that Lob City Clippers team didn't get a ring because they were just so talented. They were stacked. And it sucks that injuries used to fuck them up every single season. But in the 2015-16 season, Jamal averaged 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. In the 2016-17 season, Jamal averaged 12.5 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. His last season with the Clippers, until he went to Minnesota, he averaged 10 points, 1 rebound, and 2.5 assists. And he went to Phoenix. His last really season, we're not going to even say that 2019-20 season counts. He played one game. His last season in the NBA with the Phoenix Suns in the 2018-19 season, he averaged 8 points, 1.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists that season. And Jamal Crawford's accolades for his sixth man is one of the best of them, bro. He won 3 Sixth Man of the Year in 2010 with the Hawks, in 2014 and 2016 with the Clippers. He's tied with, guess, Lou Will. He became the oldest player to score 50 in a game, and he became the first player to score 50 for 4 different franchises. Like I said, he was a bucket. He's 12th all-time in career 3-point field goals made, and he's one of the best. He has one of the best crossovers to ever play the game, and he's one of the best scorers to ever play the game too. And he came off the bench. He did all that off the bench. But next, getting into possibly the greatest sixth man of all time. If you want to do Jamal, you can do Lil Will if you want. But in the 2005-2006 season, Lou Will averaged 2 points, 0.6 rebounds, and 0.3 assists. He only played 5 minutes that season. He was playing behind Allen Iverson, one of the best players to ever play the game, and he was mentoring Lou Will. The next season, you're going to see that Lou Will's minutes would start to go up, and so has his production. In the 2006-2007 season, he averaged 4 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. He only played 11 minutes per game. In the 2007-2008 season, that's when he really started to see some consistent burn. He averaged 11.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. And we all know that the minutes would start to go up once they got rid of Allen Iverson. And the next season, the 2008-2009 season, he averaged 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. We see that he's consistently getting better every single season, and he spent some time in Philadelphia. It's like they had the opposite, because they both played for the Hawks, they both played for the Clippers. I don't know, but in the 2009-2010 season, he averaged 14 points, 2.5, basically 3 rebounds and 4 assists. In the 2010-2011 season, he averaged 13.5 points per game, 2 rebounds and 3.5 assists. In the 2011-2012 season, he averaged 15 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. In his last season in Philadelphia, when he would go to the Hawks, and he averaged in the 2012-2013 season, he averaged 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. It's basically the same stats, but he would eventually go up because Lou Will is known as a bucket getter, and he was averaging all of this, and he was a 6'1" doing all this shit. So it's kind of special, bro, in my opinion. But in the 2013-14 season, his last season in Atlanta, he averaged 10.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. He would go to Toronto the next season, where he really made his name known. He averaged 15.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. When Drake made the song Six Man like Lou Will, and then they got rid of him because he was becoming much more famous than they expected, and he won Sixth Man of the Year that year because he was special. And that Toronto Raptors team was good. Kyle Lowry made his first All-Star appearance, and Lou Will coming off the bench to back him up. It's just crazy. But in the next season, he would go to the Lakers. He averaged 15.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. In the 2016-17 season, Lou Will averaged 18.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. One of his best seasons as a pro. Then he would go to Houston. He got traded to Houston mid-season. He averaged 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. He was obviously included in the trade for Chris Paul, where he would go to the Houston Rockets the next season. He averaged 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Then he would go to the Clippers in the 2017-18 season. He had his best season in the NBA, averaged 22.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And his best days were with the Clippers. He was averaging 32 minutes, 26 minutes, and he was still going out there and getting buckets, bro. Like, it's just kind of crazy how your best player could really be your sixth man, because that really was Lou Will that season. Like, in the 2018-19 season, he averaged 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. And I'll never forget when they stole one game against the stacked Warriors team. We all know that Kevin Durant led team. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green team. Lou Will went out there and stole a team with rookie Shea, if you want to say that, Montrezl Harrell when he was good, and that's really it. In the 2019-2020 season, Lou Will averaged 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 5.5 assists with the Clippers, with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard's first season there. In the 2020-2021 season, his last season with the Clippers, he averaged 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. And he was traded to the Hawks. He got his much-needed paycheck. He averaged 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. In his last season in the NBA, in the 2021-2022 season, Lou Will averaged 6 points, 1.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And in Lou Will's career, he's put up 15,593, being one of the best bucket getters of all time. And he averaged 14 points for 17 seasons. But y'all could take y'all pick who y'all think is better, Lou Will or Jamal Crawford. I got some videos right here. If you enjoyed this video you just watched, video on the right and video on the left, and click on it.